everyone, and welcome to the Green School Bali Virtual Open Day. My name is Kate and I'm really delighted to be with you today to share a little bit about Green School Bali live from our campus, where literally anything could happen. So I'm really pleased to be able to open today's session for you and introduce some of the segments that will be coming your way. But the beautiful thing about our open day, and the thing I love, is that it is a chance to get a bit interactive. So we would love to hear from you as we go through the different sections of the day that you can see there on the screen, your questions, and you can pop anything in the chat at any time. So you can open that up right now, and any questions that are on your mind or comments or feedback, you can put it right there in the chat and we will keep that open through the session. So the two main sections today are to welcome you and also welcome my friend Dan McCloy, our head of curriculum, who is joining me here on our beautiful bamboo settee in the garden. And Dan is going to share more with you about what teaching and learning is all about at Green School, our curriculum. So Dan's going to try and unpack that for you and make it as accessible as possible. Then we're going to go in the second half of our session to some breakout rooms. So this is a new thing for us and we're really excited to have a whole team of people here in the different breakout rooms to dive deeper on the things that you are most interested in knowing about. So I'm going to introduce now my guest here on the bamboo settee, Dan. Hi Dan, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing very well, Kate, thank you.
It's afternoon for us. Whatever time it is for you though, is that's your time. We're at the end of the school day right here, wrapping up.
We've had a long day of being rained on, including this morning. We had a bit of a storm on our earlier session for Virtual Open Day, but we pushed through and we're here now. And the sun's kind of out. But yeah, glad you could all make it and thank you for being here.
Yeah, it was a little dramatic. Earlier in the day, we had a big storm here, but things are beautiful now. Our students are just leaving. It's the end of the school day. Here I've just come from our maker space. I've been with students up there. Everyone's had a full day. But we really love opening our campus virtually to the world. We know that people interested in Green School and making a decision to come to Green School, we know that that is a really big decision and a big deal. So our responsibility is to share as much as we can with you. So please make the most of it and stay for the whole session, and please ask questions in the chat. So we're going to get underway. Dan, you are going to hold our hands and walk us through what is the Green School curriculum, because it is our own unique thing.
Well, thank you, Kate. And as you might have seen, this is the end of our school day, so we're going to have some students and individuals walking behind us, interacting with the beautiful scenery we have, including potentially my own son, who might find his way here near the end of this session.
We'll keep it real.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll keep it
exactly.
real. Yeah.
But we're here to give you an overview. We say curriculum, but more of what it's like to be here at the Green School throughout a day. So kind of a day in the life. The curriculum has a big part of that and creates the structure around the teaching and learning. But again, the community, the parents, how we interact, all forms what is our mission, which is to be a community of learners making the world sustainable. And this involves students, but this also involves you as parents, involves everyone who interacts here on campus, and together we unite over this mission, and that's what truly drives our learning forward and makes this such a magical and special place to be. The curriculum, again, is the structure and sets the foundation, but all the moving pieces is what truly comes together to make learning here something really special. And what that learning looks like is on this, what I find is a beautiful document. And again, this is my curriculum side of me and organizational side, but this is the Green Literacies Framework, Green School's very own curriculum. There's a portion here that is missing. You can't see everything, but fundamentally there are 6 columns which guide our teaching and learning here at Green School. And they are creativity, quantitative, innovation, communication, regeneration, and connectedness. Now again, if we were going to disseminate this and translate it to what terminologies or subjects you would be more common or more familiar with, we'd have something like the arts, mathematics, science, literacy, regeneration, which is unique to ourselves, and then well-being. And the purpose of this framework is to bring in important learnings from across disciplines and provide the opportunity to integrate concepts across these disciplines to create our courses. So on here you would see common names like algebra or chemistry or reading and writing, but also on here you have concepts like biomimicry and sustainable design and ethics. So all of these form our curriculum that guide and structure the course creation for our classes from early years all the way up to grade 12. But truly what I'd like to emphasize here is it contains aspects of subject matter that you would be familiar with already, but is also focused on concepts that we truly believe our learners need for the future and need to conceptually begin to build and reflect on as we move through the ever-changing world. Now, how this looks, that is the what. This is kind of the how. And again, we have two focuses really, is the experiential learning and then thematic learning, or what we're moving to now, which is regenerative design. So if you can think of thematic learning as choosing a topic or a theme, you might say, to focus on within a subject. And then your mathematical concepts, your literacy concepts, your science concepts, and your well-being concepts are all interlinked into this theme or thematic throughout the student's learning day. So the biggest takeaway here is that subjects don't sit in silos. You don't go to math class, get up and leave, go to science, get up and leave. What you're trying to do is choose a theme and then find a lens, a mathematical lens, a scientific lens, or a literacy-based lens to focus on within this thematic unit. And this is all directed to real-world issues, looking for opportunities for our students to engage experientially with the world around them. So students within all these courses focus on taking this learning and embodying that in some type of lived experience. So being able to activate all your senses to truly understand and feel what that learning is our concept of experiential learning, which fits within each and every course that we do. Examples of this, or the best example, which is unique to Green School, is our Jalan Jalan program, which exists from grade 1 all the way up to our grade 12 learners. And this is a portion of the week that is specifically dedicated to a project, a community service-based concept, an entrepreneurial learning experience, or an outdoor ed experience. And students are able to elect into something of their passion or something they find interesting that truly puts them out there to experience themselves. That can be on campus, that could be in a classroom, and oftentimes is an excursion off of our campus somewhere in Bali. So these two examples here you see are very popular coral restoration class. This is done in scuba diving like you see on the picture here, but I actually have also run a free diving version of this course. And on the top you have a community-based project where our students are interacting and engaging at a local school here in Sibang Kaja to share different ideas and initiatives. And then the school also visits us here at Green School so we can get both sides of that experience. Here is a list of all the different Jalan Jalans that exist throughout the school. And again, this is only a snippet of all the options that actually exist. Students will do 4 Jalan Jalans a year. They rotate each term, and we have 4 terms. So we have anything from surfing to bike riding to coding to working with our mangrove section that we have here in the south of Bali. And these are all opportunities that students can choose from based on what interests them and what experience they would like to take away from this. And lastly is our project-based learning. And this isn't something new and not necessarily something ultra unique. Schools around the world all do project-based learning. They focus on it, but they don't do it in a way that puts students at the forefront of these projects. So something we truly want students to aspire to is learning how to take an interest or a passion and be able to go through the steps, sometimes the pains and the challenges of what it is to move that project towards their end goal. And this is highlighted in our capstones in grade 5, 8, and 12, where students work on these projects to a point where they present to the community in a TED Talk style presentations, but share and story tell their journey of what it was like through their whole entire process. And this is where you see an unbelievable amount of growth, and is really when our community comes together to celebrate our young learners with who achieve so much during this time. We also have a strong visual, musical, and theatrical arts program. As you can see photos here, we have school bands from primary up to high school. We have plays that run throughout the year. So at different times, we'll have middle school, high school plays and primary theatrical performances. Our music program really integrates where we are here in Bali and Indonesia, and gives students exposure to instruments like the gamelan, but also more international instruments like you see here on students playing on the marimba stage. And lastly, physical well-being, which is our physical education program you can consider, but that extends to a sports league on the island and opportunities for students to engage in further physical activities both before school and after school in sports throughout the year. And the school sports that run in our Bali sports organization are basketball, volleyball, football, cross country, track and field, swimming, and athletics. So if your student has any interest in those, there are teams formed each year. We play other schools on the island, and that's summarized in a finals event for each and every one of those sports. We also have a strongly believe in our social emotional learning program. And this isn't a checkbox in our curriculum. This is something that focuses on developing students' awareness of themselves, students' awareness of their relationships with others and the earth, as well as focusing on building those important mindful practices that are really important now with our growing technology in society and students' ability to remain focused and truly be reflective of themselves and their daily processes. So social emotional learning is put in our curriculum to build these skills in our individual learners so that by the time they become young adults, they have been exposed, they have practiced, and they have their own management systems in a lot of these areas to ensure that they are comfortable in their interactions with others, but also understanding themselves as human beings. And lastly, we talk about Green School skills and values. And you might have heard of the I respect skills before, I respect values before, but it is something that really solidifies and aligns our community together. So these values are what drive our community on an aligned understanding of what we expect from one another and what we expect from ourselves. And this is really hard to put on paper. So until you walk around campus, until you see interactions between students and parents, between teachers and teachers, teachers and parents, it's really hard to understand the importance of these values and keeping our community moving in a positive direction. It is truly something beautiful and that I've never experienced anywhere else, is being surrounded by individuals throughout a whole entire day that feel so connected on their core values and what they believe in. So both our I respect values and our mission do a great job at providing us a North Star as a community to move forward together and really stay connected and look out for one another. And this is where these opportunities extend to you as parents. So we have whole community projects like our Kambali trash sorting system. So there are 17 different categories that we can recycle different rubbish that is brought in by our community, and parents are a part of that process of sorting and helping sort the rubbish that comes in. Our mangrove sanctuary that we maintain, we plant, and we look after the ecosystem that exists there, and parents are more than welcome to become involved in that. And lastly, our BioBus initiative, which takes used cooking oil from different restaurants and facilities around the island, brings it in, we turn it into biodiesel, as well as other products like soaps and shampoos that we can sell off and upcycle what was a waste product, and we can turn it into something useful. A question we always get is, what does this look like week to week for my student? So as a few quick summary slides, if you have an early year student up until middle school, you can imagine 4 hours of a thematics-based class with 4 hours of math and literacy-based concepts supporting that class. And then throughout the week, 2 hours of specialist subjects that include green studies, cultural arts, music, well-being, and Bahasa Indonesia. And then as we move into the high school, you can still imagine 4 hours of math and literacy focused classes, and then everything in high school is an elective. So although their classes are broken up into social studies, science, entrepreneurship, students elect into 12 hours of these classes based on their choice. So they're given electives throughout their school day, and each and every term they're able to choose what classes appeal to them based on the subjects that they're labeled as. There's also 2 hours of well-being, 2 hours of advisory, and of course that 4 hours of that experiential Jalan program. Now that was quite a bit of information. Hopefully I answered just as many questions as I caused developing in your minds. But what's important here is for you to get an overview and be able to generate some thoughts, because you're going to have the opportunity to speak directly to our head of lower school, Pac Benjamin, and our head of upper school, Pac Benjamin, and head of lower school, Ibu Victoria. If you have any more direct lines of questioning in terms of curriculum or what the day-to-day of your student may look like across the school. But I wanted to provide an overview of, I guess, the most broad concepts you can imagine here in terms of curriculum or daily structure. And it's words on a page, so it's really hard to describe what it is to be here, to be a student here, to be a parent here, to be an educator here. But hopefully these two videos are specific examples of a middle school experience and a primary experience that will give you more of an insight from the student perspective and from the teacher perspective of what a class could look like here at Green School Bali. So enjoy that. Be sure to ask more questions in the chat along the way, and we'll come back for a Q&A with Kate afterwards. So enjoy.
A Green School thematic class is a holistic approach to student-centered, project-based learning. And it includes connections to our proficiencies as well as all of our specialist classes. That includes personal well-being, music, art, and our very own Green Studies class.
We were all super proud and happy when we saw our kids walking down the pebble path, because we were like just squealing with excitement, really.
We're preparing lessons to teach a group of grade 1 students, and we have to set up like learning assessment.
The project that I've been working on is doing math with grade 1s.
We're teaching the grade 1s how to make a fire. Because making a fire
you could use
is
if you're
good.
lost in the woods. It's good if you're lost in the woods for warmth. Cooking food if you're lost.
I have been working on origami for teaching the grade 1 students. Because origami is really special to me because I used to make it since I was really small.
One thing that made us proud is even if we got challenged, we just pushed, and in the end the result was just amazing. I would like to do more projects like this, passing on my passion and inspiring other kids to do great things.
Student takeaways from this thematic unit include an understanding that their ideas and perspectives matter. They'll also have a deeper connection with their community members and an increased sense of confidence to share their learning in larger forums as future change makers.
This class, it's about using sustainable materials, in this case banana fiber paper and bio-epoxy resin, and combining them to make green composites that we can then substitute less green things on our campus with. Learning outcomes are for students always to use their Green School I Respect values and the Green School skills, select handful of each in this case, but more importantly for students to come to grips with using new materials in an innovative way and a sustainable way. It's about being practical, pragmatic, wanting to make a change, making a difference towards our environment at Green School.
I really like this class because I get to be creative and I can just link this class to my passions and use it for things that I would use in my everyday life.
Thanks everyone, nice to see you again, and thank you Dan for that amazing session where you attempt to unpack the Green School curriculum in record time.
Yeah, it's a complex beast, but I'm always happy to share the insights and how we use it as a structure to guide our teaching and learning.
Yeah, it is a complex thing, but it's a beautiful thing, and it is nice to have some time together to talk about it with families that are thinking about Green School. But now is the time to put your questions in the chat. If there are things you want to know more about, more specific, put them in there. I have some that have been baked earlier here in the iPad that have been sent through early. So we are going to grab some of those before I let Dan go so he can help me answer some of these for you. So are you ready, Dan? Okay, all right. Let's have a look here. Let me ask you a question to kick off with around class structures and supervision. So are there fixed classes where students will spend the day together as a group, or is it a bit more open-ended? Do they mix with other grade levels?
Yes, great question. And it differs across the school. So as you're looking at early years and younger primary classes, they generally stick with their classroom and have a homeroom teacher who is a foreign staff and a local Indonesian teacher that goes along with that classroom. And then they transition to the specialist subjects that I talked about before, both music, green studies, cultural arts, well-being. So they do have a rotation basis of those classes, but primarily stick with their homeroom teachers. And then as you move up into upper primary and especially into middle school is where we start to see more mixed age learning. Middle school especially, students begin to elect into some of their own timetable choices. So 40 to 50% of a student's timetable is elected by them through their own choice in terms of the arts and Jalan. And all these classes are mixed age classes from 6 to 8. So they experience completely different interactions with different students across the middle school. And that's an age group that we've found to be most beneficial in terms of mixed age learning. They naturally develop such beautiful role model roles and student leaders, and that's not always the older students, but sometimes students just have such amazing knowledge and power, even if they are a younger student in the class. So that's when we really start to focus on mixed age learning from the middle school years.
Yeah, nice. And I know adding on to that question was just some interest in, how the days are structured here, how the learning is structured, how much is sort of open-ended, which I think actually you covered quite a lot of in your presentation, Dan. But, there is a flow, there is a structure to things, there's a rhythm to the school day and to the weeks that happen here, but a lot that's open-ended in terms of within a class, what might be able to be explored more deeply or what direction might be taken.
Yeah,
is that fair to say?
I would say the school day has a structure in terms of timings and where people are going to be. Again, I would be able to find where teachers are throughout the day somewhat, unless they're out in the gardens and things. But within the classroom, we really advocate for following student passions and following their interests. So again, a typical lesson plan might have a minute-by-minute schedule, and that's not the case here. But our school day does have a start time and end time, and students aren't freely around campus without supervision throughout the day.
Yep, nice. But within that, we can be super creative. So I just came from my Jalan, which I'm helping out with. So it has students from middle school through high school. In fact, I have parent helpers in there as well, and I figured out we have a total age span of 50 years in that class, from the youngest learner to the oldest learner, because we're counting the adults as learners as well. And this group are working in small teams to fit out a new building here on the campus with furnishings and light fittings and things, but all made from great environmentally friendly or recycled, upcycled or organic materials. So within that class, they then can form smaller groups, and parents are in there helping as coaches, which is an absolute blast. So the school day starts at 8:15 in the morning and finishes at 3:15 in the afternoon. For people who have some of our younger learners, they may have the option to do a half day, but pretty much that is the standard day for us, 5 days a week. I'm going to answer another question while I know the answer to it, Dan, before we go back to you, which is about food at Green School. Lunches, we have lunch options here on the campus. We have anywhere between 2 or 4 different vendors here who serve a selection of things, all within our food policy, which is that we eat local, seasonal, organic wherever possible, and cruelty-free produced produce. Yes.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Let me throw one back your way around language learning. So let's talk about second languages. So what do we offer here at the Green School, and when do we offer that? At what age and stage?
Yeah, so primarily our secondary language that we teach here is Bahasa Indonesia, and that's something that we deeply focus on. My 3-year-old now, after 6 to 8 months, has already been able to pick up the language quite beautifully. And again, we've got 40 plus different nationalities, so people coming from all over the world sharing not only their culture but their language as well. But Bahasa Indonesia is what we focus on up until we begin offering what we call the language lab, which is an opportunity for one of our teacher provides for students to independently study a particular language of their choice, with guidance and structure from that teacher to maintain and look after and keep on top of academic progress for each of those individual students. And that starts in the 9th grade.
All right, let's stick with the 9th grade for a minute, because I have another question here about AP classes. So do we offer AP classes? What are AP classes for some people? Might be interested to know. What do we offer? When do we offer? Or what else do we offer?
Yeah, AP classes are a credit that goes toward, that is recognized by universities. Typically, our universities from Europe are looking for AP credits, which we do offer. Typically, this is a process that is embarked on by students in grade 10 and into grade 11 who work on obtaining AP credits through the school, which is one avenue that we offer. It is not necessarily our end goal, but for those students who are looking for those opportunities, we offer AP courses alongside SUPA courses, which SUPA courses are Syracuse University credits. So they're first year university credits, and our courses that exist for SUPA are things like forensic science, statistics, economics, but both of those are options that exist here for our high school students to take if they so choose.
Yes, excellent, Dan. And if you're particularly interested in the high school and want to know more, hopefully you've selected the upper school session in the second part of today's event. So you can connect with our leader of the upper school program. He's going to be there to answer all of those questions. If you want to find out more about where our graduates go, because that is a useful insight into who we are and what we can offer at Green School, I'm sure the team there are adding a link to our alumni page in the chat. So I think we're about ready to go to our second session, but I might just add one more question in there if I can, which is around sort of class sizes. That's always something interesting to parents. There's a little question there on that.
Yeah, so our class sizes typically range from early years in primary up to anywhere from 15 to the low 20s. So usually class sizes don't go any larger than 24 would be the target, the high end of a target. But middle school, you typically see more like 20, 22, and then high school, because of the elective nature, can see classes as small as 6 up to 25. So depending on the cohort specifically, the demand in that age group, it all changes year over year. But that's typically the structure that you see here at Green School.
Yeah, super nice. And don't forget, friends, if you can come to Bali at any stage, if you can come and visit us in person, we would love to meet you, because there is nothing quite like coming in person and visiting the campus, but also spending some time with us and being able to sit down and have a chat. So we absolutely love that. So please do reach out to admissions if you're thinking about coming to Bali. Love to swing open the bamboo gates for you. All right, friends, I hope you are putting a lot of questions into the chat there that we can scoop up as we move through the rest of the session today. For now, we are going to go to a short video which has been beautifully put together with some of my favourite memories over the years at Green School Bali, some highlight points and also some extra little insights just for you today. So we are going to play that for you. Then on the other side of that, we are going to meet Mads, who is going to introduce himself to you and explain the breakout sessions. And I will be part of that and I will see you there. So thank you very much, Dan, for your time with us this afternoon. I saw your little boy walking by.
Oh, did you?
Yes, yes.
Oh, please.
Yes.
All right. But thank you all for coming and listening and being interested in what we offer here at Green School Bali. Maybe I'll see you all soon. But great hanging out, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the information session that we have for you.
That's great. So that's Dan, Head of Curriculum. I'm Kate, Head of Community and Environment at Green School, part of the leadership team, here for you today and here for Green School Bali every day. So we are now going to go to a short video and then you will meet Mads on the other side of this one. We'll see you soon.
Bye for now.
In our primary school, students continue their educational journey with an integrated curriculum that balances academic rigour with creative exploration. Core subjects like maths, science, literacy and social studies are woven into project-based activities that promote inquiry and critical thinking. The unique setting of Green School provides ample opportunities for outdoor learning, where students confront real-world challenges related to sustainable living, environmental stewardship and global citizenship. Alongside their academic growth, we place a strong emphasis on fostering emotional intelligence and interpersonal skills. This helps students build resilience, empathy and confidence, traits that are vital for their future. Here is Maggie, one of our primary students, as she comes to school and goes through her day in the primary school.
I work for grade 4. This is my day in the life of Green School student. This is my classroom, and my first subject today is thematics. Our thematics project this term is to go to the beach with our parents and collect some trash. Once everyone's brought in trash, we come down here and we find our materials and then we create a masterpiece.
Our term 4 thematic focus is making a change through art activism. We're using our art as a medium to share our voice for the ocean. Students collect waste and they use it to create a piece of ocean-themed art, sharing it in our community-wide gallery at the very end of the term.
This class is finished and now it's break time. Now I'm going to go to the library to get a new book. I love the library. It's such an amazing space where you can just dive into a complete new world, a new story, a new adventure. Our break is finished and now we have math.
So today's class was about percentages. The idea was to build up the basic foundation of what is a percentage. Later on, put it in practice into real world problems.
Math class is finished, and now we have Bahasa.
For Bahasa Indonesia class, we learn how to interview the local staff around the campus about their activity, what kind of activities that they really like the most in the beach.
Bahasa class is ended, and now we have break until 1:15. Now we have thematics.
Our daily learning schedule is super flexible. Today, for example, we have 2 thematic sessions. Our maths focus is data analysis, connected to the amount of trash that we've collected.
My class today is finished and now we go on.
I just visited the Green School in Bali for the first time, and I have to say that I so badly wish there'd been a school like that when I was a child. I think all the students here are incredibly lucky.
What got me to go there with my wife was a green school in Bali. It's a very unique concept of education.
I have been visiting many different places, many schools, but this is the most unique and impressive school I have ever visited.
At Green School, the children are smiling. If this little girl graduates as a whole person, chances are she'll demand a whole world to live on.
I've never been more jealous of any kids in my life. Get out there and just screw it, just do it. Have a blast, have a great life.
Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the videos. My name is Matt and I work here at Green School as the Director of Admissions, Marketing and Communication. And I'm here to introduce the next part of today's session, which is the breakout rooms. So in today's session, as Kate mentioned in the beginning, we have 4 different breakout rooms, each focusing on different topics so that you can choose the right topic for you and your family. Importantly, you are pre-assigned to one of those breakout rooms that you've chosen up front. But if during the show you want to switch to another room, you are free to request that and you can actually be moved to another room. The 4 rooms we have made available for you today is focusing on our lower school program with our head of lower school, Victoria, our upper school program with our head of upper school, Benjamin. We have a session about living in Bali where you can meet a current parent and ask questions about what is it like for a parent and a family who's already here in Bali. And then we have an admission session with our head of admissions, Christina. All of these sessions, in case you can't see them all, will be offered as recordings afterwards. So if you feel like you missed something, you can always go back to the recordings that we'll share afterwards. So I was also asked to just share a couple of facts with you guys in terms of Green School and the composition we have here at the school. So right now we have around 500 students, a little more than 500. Students come from all parts of the world. We have almost 50 different nationalities represented on campus at the moment. And obviously they come from all over the world, but some of the most common nationalities are US, Holland, UK, Australia, Japan, many different European countries. Germany is definitely also a big nationality on campus, but again with a very big diversity across the board. Our students here at Green School Bali, we have around 300 in our lower school program and a bit more than 200 in our upper school program. So that's a little bit of facts from my side, but now we are going to transition you into the breakout rooms. So please, everyone, hold on as we move you to the Zoom breakouts where you will meet the 4 hosts that will take you through a short presentation, and then the rest of the time is really for you to ask questions. So make sure that you have some questions ready, be ready to engage. If there's anything you have questions about, just let the host know, and they're free to engage with you and answer your questions. So everyone, please enjoy the breakout rooms, and after the rooms you are going to come back to me for a few tips on how to continue the conversation and a little wrap up of today's session. Thank you so much and enjoy your breakout rooms. Hello everyone and welcome back here to our main session. Thank you for sticking with us and hope you enjoyed those breakout rooms and had an opportunity to dive a bit more into some of your favorite topics. So here to wrap up this session, we just wanted to share some opportunities for you to continue the conversation with us here at Green School. And don't forget that apart from the session that you were a part of, we will offer the recordings from the other sessions in a couple of days in case you want to refresh your memory or just want to see some of the other sessions and questions that were posed in any of the 4 rooms that we offered today. So On your screen now, you can see a couple of options to continue the conversation with us. So one option is to book a private call with us, where you can meet our admissions team, get more information about the school, the application process, and also just an opportunity for you to get some Q&A going based on your personal family needs and your transition time and your observations that you've gathered here in our session today. You can also chat to some of our current parents. It's a function we have on our website. We'll also share this link in an email that the team is actually going to send to you right now as we close off this session. There's a couple of opportunities to visit our campus. You're of course more than welcome to join us here on campus in Bali. We do many weekly tours where you get a chance to see our campus live in action. And we also have a virtual tour that you can join on our website, and we are going to provide that link for you as well as a part of that email that will be shared with you shortly. We have a video explaining our application process in more details that will also be made accessible. And then, as mentioned, the recordings from today's session will be available for you as well. So again, here from the jungle, from us, the full team here at Green School Bali, we want to thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for participating and lending us some of your time here today. It was wonderful to host you all and hopefully spark some curiosity around what we have going for us here in the jungle at Green School Bali. So from all of us here today, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for taking part. Hope to see you again soon here in Bali, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.